What's happening, guys? This is Chris from Good Looking Loser Get a Life, hair loss from steroids, Good Looking Loser, etc., etc. This is a bit of an impromptu video, and I figured I'd shoot it because actually my hair looks better than it ever has, at least since about 2004. A little background on me: I've had hair restoration procedures in 2006 and 2008. Both of those were up front, alright? Both approximately about, well, one was 2,000 grafts, another one was 1,500, okay? I've had no work done on the top of my head, okay? So that's my history. If you've discovered hair loss from steroids or me or whatever, okay, hair loss from steroids came out in 2011, alright? About September or something I started doing videos. Again, my last hair restoration procedure was in 2008, okay? 2006, 2008. So it was 3 years between the last one of those before I started hair loss from steroids. So if you've been following my videos either on hair loss from steroids or the Good Looking Loser channel, you know, or whatever, if you notice any improvements in my hair, it's been strictly from the things that I suggest. Now, before we get on to the things I suggest, I'm just going to say, though, that they are largely going to be preventative measures, okay? You might get some regrowth. I'm not going to attach my name to swear that you will get some regrowth, but from what I've seen through hundreds of emails back when I was able to take emails, about 30 to, I would say, about 45, maybe 50% of guys do get some regrowth, alright? Now I say some regrowth. I have too, mainly in the front, in combination with the hair restoration procedures, okay? You know, but what it has done is definitely crack down on the amount of hair that I lose. And when I say lose, I still shed like pretty significantly in the shower, but the follicles aren't shrinking, alright? So what does that mean? That's normal. It's just normal hair loss, aka I call it shedding, alright? But the follicles aren't being, you know, ravaged by DHT like they previously were, alright? These days, like I would say as of this video right now, March 2014, my hair has looked as good as it has since about 2004, 2005. I'm very sensitive to nail pattern baldness. In my early 20s, I was doing a lot of steroids, alright? And at the time, there wasn't too many things you could use that would prevent hair loss from steroids, okay? There was finasteride, which prevents hair loss from testosterone, but as far as stuff like dianabol, trenbolone, I used those back in the day, but then stayed away from them after they fucking, like, took about, like, 5,000 hairs off my head permanently. I stopped using those, but finasteride never prevented hair loss from those. It's not supposed to, okay? It only inhibits type 2 DHT, which is not that is type 1. A bit of a generalization, but just figure on finasteride only helping hair loss from testosterone and its derivatives, okay? The other thing that kind of emerged in 2005, once it became a generic, was Avodart, okay? Otherwise known as dutasteride, which theoretically prevents hair loss from type 1 and type 2. So theoretically, that will be good against hair loss from steroids, all of them. But I had since stopped running those very androgenic compounds. I did take dutasteride. I found it to be similar to finasteride, but a lot of guys have success with dutasteride, alright? I'm not going to claim success with it because I didn't take it long enough. It actually did no more or no less than finasteride did for me, but again, I'm not going to be a guinea pig to run a really androgenic compound and dutasteride. More recently, okay, and I'll type this up in a separate post, is my feedback for you on the compound RU58841, okay? As some of you guys know, I have been doing research with that compound, and I do think it is part of my hair looking better than ever, okay? I really do think so. At first, I got a bunch of shedding from it, okay? It was similar to the Minoxidil shedding that guys get when they start that. So that subsided about, I would say, 12 to 14 days, and then it didn't look like my hair was improving, but it didn't look like it was getting worse. And usually when you get to that point where instead of losing 30, 40 hairs in the shower, you start losing 20 or 30, okay, it's a smaller difference, not that we're counting here, but you're just going by, you know, your eyes and what you kind of see. That's usually good news, okay, because less hair is going out means more hair is going in, and as long as they're not thinning in the process, that's okay. All right, so I still lose I would say it's down a little bit. Before I started RU, I lose about 40 to 50 hairs in the shower. Again, it's just a guess here, and it's down to more like 25 to 35. Okay, so that's a percentage of about like 20%. All right, so it is down. And now that I've been researching it for about 4.5 months, I will say though that my hair looks better than ever. So I do credit it with that. Below will be 2 stacks. All right, it's the beginner stack and the more advanced prevent hair loss at all costs stack. All right, so I'll make 2 of them. Depends on how sensitive you are to male pattern baldness. Depends on how much money you got. It depends on how much this fucking means to you. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be 2 stacks below. Let me show you what my hair is looking like. Before I start, sorry. I have Topic hair loss fibers on the top of my head, okay? That is where the most thin zones are. Like I said, I didn't get any work done on the top of my head. I might in the future, I might not. But I do have those up there. So don't think that I have a full, a completely full head of hair, okay? We have fibers on the top, all right? I suggest getting the Topic fibers. I, however, use this clone. I am not going to tell you the name of the clone because I want you to get Topic, because Topic is a way high-end product, all right? If I suggest this one to you, you get it, and like a few of my friends, you don't like it, you might ditch the idea entirely. So I started with Topic. I want you to start with Topic, and yeah. Get Topic. All right, here is my hair. We are in front right here. We're going to go up top. You can see some fibers. You can see some thinning. From a distance, it is definitely looks pretty good. You can't really tell. All right, I'm about 3 feet from the mirror. And you can see what the back of my head looks like. We'll swing this over here. So, that is what my hair is looking like. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit. I just took this supplement and it's got a way bunch of caffeine in it. Alright, let's talk about my hair loss stack, okay, before showers. Alright, there's 2 different things I do. And the first one is before bed, before I apply Minoxidil or RU to my research subject. Always and always, I'll apply the baby shampoo. Alright, I do that regardless. And I wash the hair fibers out. I wash whatever leftover minoxidil is out. So I always use baby shampoo first. All right, that's about 1 or 2 minutes. All right, then I immediately gonna put on one of these Ketoconazole shampoos. All right, Region Pure, which is I guess the more popular one, the Lipogain Big 3, which I like slightly better, but they're both awesome. I put that on after for the duration of the shower. All right, so boom, baby shampoo for about 90 seconds. This for the duration of the shower. All right, and then I actually put on the bath mate. So sometimes. Some of you guys know what that is, some of you guys don't. All right, so after I get out of the shower, using the Ketoconazole shampoos, I am going to use a roller on my scalp. All right, this increases how much the minoxidil absorbs. All right, it's a bit of a optional thing, but I do it just because I can tell you about this stuff, and I think it's more effective, so it does that. So I roll my scalp. That takes about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I put on the minoxidil. All right, and the minoxidil I suggest is the Lipogain. That has been good for so long, and I'm not actually using that minoxidil right now. I'm using generic minoxidil with RU58841 for my research subject. Okay, so I did also do it with Lipogain. I just ran out of Lipogain. I got a whole bunch of generic in the house, so I started using that. My suggestion, if you do get the generic minoxidil, is to get the roller. If not, just use Lipogain. The best of all worlds, however, would be Lipogain plus RU plus the roller. All right, so that will be part of my advanced stack, and that's what I recommend. That is what I do before I go to bed. All right, or in the morning when I don't have to leave the house. Most of you guys know I work at home, and if I'm not going out or something, I can just do that, and no problem. When I want my hair looking good, I do something different. All right, such as like now, because I'm about to run out. Okay, the hair looking good stack is this. Starts with baby shampoo. We're going to rinse out either the Minoxidil or the RU. And then I use this shampoo. It just came through recently. It's pretty new. It is Topics shampoo from Spencer Forest. And I am not surprised that it's excellent because they make great stuff. Shampoo for about 3 or 4 minutes. Conditioner for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then I get out of the shower. Again, this is the hair look good stack, all right? So I get out of the shower, and then I style my hair, put these guys on the top, all right? And then hairspray to hold them down. That works great. You don't need the Topic Fiber Spray. Hairspray does the exact same thing. But that is the hair looking good stack, all right? Sometimes I use these just to like mix it up, I guess. I just have them in here. Region Pure NT, which is essentially just a really high quality like shampoo. It thickens a little bit, not as good as this one, because that's what this one's supposed to do. But the Region Pure stack, I mean, if you like the Solana products, you can get those, this is the one, the hair loss shampoo, Region Pure DR. If you want to really know specific differences, watch my Region Pure DR versus Region Pure NT video. And this is Region Pure NT, essentially just a high quality shampoo. This last one you saw over here is Trichomen. That was my previous recommendation for a hair thickening shampoo. My recommendation now is Topic. All right. So these guys, 1, 2 to look good and go out, and then once a day. Sometimes I have to wait 48 hours. Is the baby shampoo followed by the Ketoconazole shampoo. Okay, 2 minutes, whole shower, either just lost it there. Region Pure, DR, Lipogain, one of those. Get out, roll the hair, roll the head, roll the scalp, and then apply the Minoxidil and RU to my research subject. Like I said, hasn't looked this good in a long time. I do feel that's a product of basically, I would say the only difference between now and 6 months ago is the RU. Plus these Topic shampoos are great. They make your hair look really good. But I would say that's the RU because actually right now, this is Region Pure NT. I didn't put the Topic shampoo on. But that is my hair loss stack, okay? Both of them. Hair loss routine, hair loss stack. Again, I'll put the beginners, I'll put the advanced one below. One routine is to make the hair look good. One routine is the hair loss routine that I suggest you do every 24 to 48 hours just to keep the DHT off of there. And that is it. I try to cover everything. If there's something I didn't, hit me up below. The Good Looking Loser forum, hair loss section. The guys, they're very familiar with basically all the research that I've done, and then the additional research that they've done, plus their personal experience. They can help you out and stuff like that too. But that is it. Take care.